Top of the day to you on this inspirational journey. We all have an inspirational journey within our lives. As long as you wake up and you live in, that is a journey. You have to journey to and fro on this earth. Okay, so top of the day, honey bunnies. Look at y'all. Y'all looking so beautiful. Blessings and peace to you all. And may all be well within your day, your week, but it all begins with what? Self, facing self. So here we are to continue to build up ourselves, to face ourselves, to be a better us. We need to stop sleeping on ourselves. Okay. So therefore, because we are created to be wonderful, we are created to be unique, we created to be all that we can be. Okay. So you need to just try to find yourself, who you are. Who do you want to be? How were you created? And you walk in it. Your past do not have to define who you are. Okay, so today we're going to talk about how to have faith. Sometimes faith, you think that it's there, and then you may not have faith, or you have faith in certain things, and you don't have faith in other things. So, as facing yourself, you need to decide about this is part of your makeup. It's part of your character, about who you trying to build yourself, build your image, what you want to look like in life. So, if this is your avatar, as so called, if you want to build that, what would it look like? How would you build your avatar? Or how would your future self, what would you want your future self to look like and be? For years to come, how would you want to walk on this earth? What are your goals? Where are you going with this? But one of the things about facing yourself have to do with how to have faith. A lot of people kind of put faith with more so of faith with religion. Okay. So therefore, I'm not too good with a religion. I'm more so about a relationship with God. God is the creator. And you have to look back in your mindset to discover what you want to be in life, how you want to look. What is your makeup? What is your beliefs? What do you believe in? Believing in is part of your faith. Okay. So, and it's like faith is like how I was taught was if you go somewhere and you just sit down on a chair that you never sat down on before, but you have that faith that this chair is not going to fall. It's not going to break down on you, that it's going to hold you up and you just sit down on it. To me, that's what they say, that this is the type of faith. Okay. So that's what we're looking at when it comes to that. All right. So in faith, you can have steps if you don't know about faith. Within the Sunday school lessons coming up to Sunday, it's about sin and forgiveness. And within that sin and forgiveness, it's about evaluating yourself, facing yourself, looking at who you are, what is your makeup, what do you want to do. This is the beginning of some people year. Some people year don't start until February or other months within this year. So therefore, and some people started their faith or their year off with January. So with January or February or whenever, you need to decide which way that you want to go, how you want to be built, which way that your life that you desire it to be designed like. No one had this power but you. You have to decide what you want to do with your life. Okay? That decision is really up to you. And it is a choice that should not be taken lightly. It shouldn't be rushed. You need to just take your time and decide that, okay, this is me. This is me. This is me. This is how I want to look, how I want to feel, how I want to be. This is you. And you get to build that. You get to decide that. And no one else can tell you no difference. Because you live in your own life. This is your life. Who can tell you or define who you desire and want to be? You can be good or you can be bad. It is up to you. It's your decision Okay. So it's all about facing yourself. So we had started off with, just defining about facing yourself. And then we went into different how to's. Then we thought about forgiveness, how to forgive, how to have the power to forgive, and that is very, very important because you have to give yourself some grace. You got to forgive yourself so you can build yourself, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and move forward. There's no time for pity parties, okay? And I done had my share of pity parties. So I'm very, very excited to, go on this journey with you and share this with you. Okay? So whenever it comes to faith, it's like it's a small word, but it's a big thing. And it's very, very important because without faith, if you're dealing with God, the creator, God, our Father, you need that. And it's very, very important because without that, it's hard to please Him or to worship Him. Simple fact is because you cannot see God. God is a spirit, and you can't see spirits. And so God thought it to be, in order to walk with His creation, is to create this flesh, and He breathed his spirit within us. So we are now living beings, and this is His creation. So I know it's hard to grasp, hard to believe, and a lot of people may not believe in God. But regardless of whether you believe in God or not, it still is the truth. We cannot get away from that. And I know it's a lot of people that don't believe in God. Some people believe in the big theory or believe in the Big Bang or whatever. But even with that bang could be God rearranging and exploring and separating, the water from the earth. It could have been all kinds of things because it was chaos and it was darkness. And when that light showed up, of course, that was a bang. Let me tell you what, it shine light on everything. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, what? You have that light in you. You have that spirit. You have that God spirit. And if you don't want to go that way, that is your choice too. But on this channel, we are here to show you the way, the truth, and life. Okay, whether it be for God or not be for God, the choice is still yours. And that's the most beautiful thing about having faith and having and believing in God and having a relationship with Him. He allowed us to have free will, free choice. It's up to you whether or not you want to serve Him, and whether you serve Him or whether you're not. There is consequences for everything. There's consequences for everything that we do. We go to work. If we go on time, there's consequences that we will get rewarded. If we go to work and we be late, guess what? It's more consequences, that we would get a point, or, we would get written up or tardy. It always be something. It's always a yin and a yang to something. It's a yes or no. It's not no in between. Okay. All right. Feel like I just got to sneeze, but please forgive me if it just comes out. So Lord, hold us down. All right. So with faith, you have to, if you want to, you can start off small. If you have not, this is your first time dealing with faith, going to worship, understanding about God and what this all about and how it all began from the beginning. And I do want to do a segment on that because I feel like that a lot of stuff got misunderstood, or a lot of stuff that was kept secret or not revealed. And it's a lot of what people consider like folk tales. That mean it's like passed on from folks to folks, and then some people say, oh, when just like our stories, if I tell you something, forgive me, blessings unto you. Sorry about that. Like if I tell you something and you to go tell someone else, would you tell them the same way I did? Or would you kind of add your little whatever to get them better to understand where you're going with this? And so for throughout life, as they pass things along, this is how it happened. So if mother like told us to like go tell such and such to do such and such, and I told exactly what mother said, but then they act like they did not understand. So therefore, I had to add a little extra, to give them what mother said, like an example or something. And because that example, then the next person told not only that example, but something else. And it's just things got all watered and a little muddied up, the saying, but that's just how life is. And so we as people have to decide or discern what is the truth and what is not the truth. So in this world, a lot of stuff has been mixed up. It has been bled together. But one thing I did notice is our religion, which I thought that was crazy, that they so divided up into different religions, but they all have the same book. They all have, if it's not the same book, they all have the same people. Like a lot of people have David, a lot of people have Abraham, a lot of people have Isaac, Jacob, but they may have a different religion, but it's the same people, the same book. So apparently at one time we was all one people, but because the difference is because some people have felt like, okay, look, you trying to be a little hard, a little extra, and God did not ask for that. So therefore, me and my family, we're gonna go off and do us while you do you. But we still believed in one thing, but then we worship God different over here versus different over here, but it's still the same book. Just look it up. I'm not lying to you. I'm not lying to you. A lot of the religions have the same people. They tell the same story about the creator. Now, they may call God different names. I have different names, and God have different names according to how people saw him or how God showed up in their lives. Okay. And you could testify to that. Some people say that, Jehovah Jireh. Some people have Jehovah Shalom. God is peace. People have certain things, how they viewed God. Okay. So all that still has to do with faith. All right. So faith is a small word. I mean, it's a big word, but it's very like quiet because it's nothing that you can like kind of, I guess, feel. It's just it defines everything the same way, but we all feel differently about how we take upon our faith. Some people have stronger faith. Some people have little faith. Some people have no faith. All right. But you get to decide as you face yourself what type of faith that you have and how to have it. All right. And if you already in that thought process, you're almost closer than what you think. You already got faith. It might not be in everything that you believe, but most thing when you face yourself, you got to have faith in yourself. You got to have faith in yourself in order to go forth, to be and create, to do whatever you need to do. Because some things in your faith, you have to shave off or let go of the old in order to embrace the new you. All right. So let's start small. So faith can grow from something tiny. All right. And it can be done through different experiences. All right. First, you have to do is face yourself, trust yourself. Okay. Once you trust yourself, you can start by like doing little things for yourself. And then that's building your faith, your confidence. And like a child would get on a bike, and sometimes they would fall off. Sometimes they would just get on there and have enough faith and they would ride that bike, like, oh my word, they was not scared at all. They had no fear, and then sometimes that's the whole point, the fear can shake us. And then listening to other people's views about whatever, that can shake us. But one thing I must tell you is that you have to make your own decision. Make your own decision. It's really up to you, okay? All right, so it's about noticing one thing that went right today. So what went right today? You set out your day, you set out your journey, and you went forth. Did you have goals? Did you set things that you had told yourself, I'm not going to let them mess up my peace. I'm not going to let them destroy, my view. Because sometimes it happens like that. I done made up a mind. I'm not going to let them disturb my peace. And you have to work toward that. And that's about having faith. You have to believe. Faith is believing. You got to believe in what you're doing. Okay. And you have to have enough faith in yourself in order to, bring forth, this manifestation of this character that you want to have and to portray. All right. So faith is not a leap, it's more of a staircase. Once you start off small and you can work your way up. All right. So a lot of people think that faith means like shutting off your brain. It's not like that. It's the opposite. Faith becomes stronger when you let yourself explore doubts, ask questions, and look for meanings. Okay. So as I was doing my faith walk and my faith journey, when it came to God, I was trying to search myself to figure out like where I come from. Growing up, these people would say these things about, my culture, my race, and that we was this, we was that. And I'm trying to figure out, why did they say that we were slaves? Where does that come from? So as I start to search and search and search about why, people viewed us as slaves, talking about, some of the Black people, we were viewed as slaves. So why were we slaves? What happened? And as I started searching, as I went to and fro, digging and looking and exploring, asking questions, it had to do with our ancestors when God created this earth and how he created and the choice that he gave us, the willpower. We had self-will. And that's the only thing about his creation as a spirit, and he dealing with this flesh. And I think that's the reason why Lucifer was so adamant about it, because he wanted to come in his own glory. He didn't understand that the codes and the laws dealing with this earth suit, and then with the spirit being mashed up with it, that it's not going to work if you come in your own glory, because you are a spirit. So you really can't pick things up, pick it up or grow, or, so it was all kinds of things that, the spiritual realm felt different. And so now that we in the flesh with the spirit, there is a difference, because there's been so much misunderstandings and half truths to our being in our creation, to the point that we start worshiping the creation more than the creator. So all that has to do with faith and believing in what happened and what's going on. So because our ancestors, Black people, or whoever decide that they are the chosen people, or they are the people, it don't have to be the Black people. It can be the whoever people. It don't matter. But if you are God people and you chose not to worship totally him, that you wanted to worship other stuff, and that's how this enslavement came, because people did not want the spiritual realm. They wanted something tangible to rule them. They didn't want the spirit of God to rule them. And then God chose people to go forth to tell others how to inquire him, and they didn't want to. So God said, okay, you don't have to, but guess what? There's always a yin and a yang. There's a choice and there's a consequence for your decision. And that is all how it happened. So I can't blame other people for our situation. We had to take some of the blame. It wasn't all anyone's fault who decided to abuse and misuse us, but we had put our own self in that predicament because we chose not to go the way of God. When he told us that we was the priesthood, we were to show others, the godly way, but we wanted to, do worldly things, become worldly and diddle and dabble, because that looked like fun. Even with me, with growing up, I grew up in a pastor's, I'm a PK kid. and I grew up there, and it was strict. And I just felt like, I want to go out and hang out with the people in the streets because it look like they having more fun than I am. And little do I know, as I start getting out there and not having the wisdom and the knowledge and the guidance, and things start getting attached to this earth suit, some things you can get rid of and some things you cannot get rid of. And that's how the world is. And I've seen so many people lose their lives because of the different ways of different trickeries. People got tricked, um, uh, manipulated into doing different things because we were searching for the wrong thing in the wrong way. And we thought that we can get what we wanted in certain ways. But little do I know, sometimes it costs people lives. People lost their lives because of a decision, because of or a different view of what it's supposed to be. So as we live today, and I look back at where we come from, we all got a nickel in that dime. I can't blame. Yeah, people went a little too far, but at the same time, we didn't do no better either. We were all called to be, God's children. We was all called to be chosen to show others the way, the truth, and life. But we didn't want that because they had too many tricks, too many rules, too many, things that I can't do. I can't drop it like it's hot. If I'm trying to do a godly thing, people wouldn't be looking at me crazy, even though I still hit that boom bap. You know what I'm saying? I love my music, that banging the drum, boom, 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 boom. Okay, yeah, that's too much. All right, so then a lot of people think that faith means shutting off your brain. It's the opposite. Okay, so you want to explore all the different doubts that you have, all the different questions you have. You write them down and you start to explore, and you begin to see within yourself whether you want to keep that or whether you want to put it in the trash and be more of or less than. It's up to you. All right, so nobody carries faith alone all the time. Sometimes you have to lean on people. You come here to this inspirational way, the truth and the life. Here we are on this journey. We all have a journey to take. All right. We all got a destination to make. All right. So you may find it in a friend or in a community on this inspirational channel with T. Dot. Yes, Tanya Russ, we here. I am that reporter. I'm going to report to you the way, the truth, and the life. Something that will help you along your way. Nothing to hurt you. Of course, you may be confused about what I'm saying, but simple fact is, because it seems new, but it's not new. It's very old, because all this has been from the beginning. I'm just finding out a lot of stuff as I went to and fro on earth. We're only in the 2000s. Oh, Father. Here go my connection again. So it's telling me that I have to wait for it. So just please forgive me if it seems like it's going in and out. Just be patient. I'll repeat. I don't mind. Okay. So on this earth, it's just like, people have which way that they wanted to go. All right. We had that same choice as our ancestors had. All right. So before time, there was no time. But when sin came, then the clock started ticking. Then time started being counted. So that's where we are. But if you really look back, if we just only on 2000s, because in the word, I found that it said 1,000 years is like one day. And one day is like 1,000 years. So if I use that terminology, we only in 2000. So it's like, okay, we day two. You know what I'm saying? So the animals and us, the humans or mankind, was created and flowed on the same day. We was all born on that same day. Not born, but created on that same day. So therefore, here we are. We're in day two. We're on the level 2000, because this is 2026. So we are on that level. In the future, our our future selves will be in the 3000. And the 4,000 and the 5,000 and the 6,000. So hopefully that our future selves will find this video. It will find ways to help themselves to navigate through this world. So are you leaving something for your future self to grasp onto, to hold, to help them navigate. Because we may not be here and they need something. So when they come back, because I feel like sometimes I have been here before. I feel like I had been a lawyer, I had been a doctor, I was a model, you know, I was a teacher, and I could have even been an actor. But anyway, yeah. So it's like that, you know. And I believe in reincarnation. You know what I'm saying? If you're a good spirit, you gon' live is eternal life. Okay? If you're a good spirit and you're a godly spirit, you will live again because it's like eternal life. It's like reincarnation. Even though people may not believe in it, they may not see it, but I believe. And you have the choice to believe whatever you want to believe too. All right? It's about your faith. All right, so after you had like you faith that you may borrow faith when you need it. Nobody cares faith alone. Some people like to lean in on your community, on your friends. It's about a story, some things that we may hear, and it's right there. It's right there. But the whole beauty about it is you get to make your own choice and your own decisions about life and how it looks, where it is for you. All right. A memory of a time you made it through some hardship, something hard that brought you faith, you know, like you was going through it. And it's like, oh Lord, I don't know where this bill money gonna come for. Oh, I don't have a ride. My ride is broke. I need a car. But what are you doing to get that? Are you just saying what you need? Are you planning the work and working the plan? Are you putting something in plan in order to help yourself? Because it's just not gonna be handed to you. Don't think that because it's not. Life is not like that. And if it do be handed to you, believe that it's gonna have a cost. And we learned that about different cartoons. Look at I can name one. The Tiana, even though she's a princess, there used to be Princess and the Frog, but they took that. They didn't want her to be a princess. They called her Tiana, Tiana and the Frog. And as we went through the bayou, in order to get certain things and certain dreams that they had, sometimes there's a sacrifice. In life, there is sacrifices. You have to sacrifice. Even with being who you want to be, there is a sacrifice. You sacrifice, meaning you have to give up in order or let go in order to go forth to get whatever you need. Okay. Let's see. It's about practicing. Practice presence. So faith often shows up when you slow down enough, okay, to notice what everything is, you know, beneath all the noise and all the hype, and you want to do something and you scared to do it, but you're like, I'm finna just do it. That's faith. You had enough nuts and enough balls to go forth and just do the darn thing. You know what I'm saying? That's faith. You know what I'm saying? I'm not afraid. I'm going to do it. If I fail, I just fail. But you know what? I get up and I just go to the board and rewrite my strategy and go forth again. Never give up. That's faith. All right. So in order to practice faith and have faith presence in your life, you sometimes may have to pray. It's nothing wrong because I pray out loud sometimes and then I pray in silence, you know. Okay, Father, you know, this is what I want to do. But I know it may not be good for me, but if it is, you show me the way. Open the door that I may see and understand, and then let me know so I won't pass it up. Because sometimes you may send people my way to tell me what is good, what is not good, and I may miss the mark because I'm not for sure because I have trust issues. I don't trust people. You know what I'm saying? Because I have been deceived before. All right. So yeah. All right. Then you meditate. You sit there and you think about day and night all the things that I call it meditation, like plan to work and work to plan. You know, and then you meditate on what you're going to do, how you building yourself, how you feel within yourself. Okay. Are you built different? That's been my little song. So I wish y'all go out there and y'all listen to this song. I think it's Tiffany Nakal. If I'm even pronouncing her name, last name wrong, but the song is called Built Different. And it gave me encouragement about myself. And it allowed me to see that, yeah, I am built different. And I'm okay with that. I don't have to be like nobody else. So if people around you making you feel small and you feeling like you're not enough, you know, I had low self-esteem. So I never thought myself to be great. So therefore, and I always thought that I was, uniquely made. I wasn't built like everybody else. I was built different. And so now that I'm in love with it and I embrace it, and I'm okay with being different. And you got to be okay with it too. It is all right. Okay, so as you sit quietly, and sometimes you can journal, plan the work the plan. I have a calendar, I have a journal, and you just plan and sometimes you achieve it that week, and sometimes it get pushed back. Because sometimes you got to understand to give yourself grace, because maybe that time is not right, but you keep pushing, you keep investing in yourself each and every day. Okay, so you're going to act as if sometimes you don't feel faith until after you move. Like I say, you got to move. You got to, like, I'm not afraid, I have no fear, and you just go forth and do it, because you never know the outcome. You could win, but you're so busy trying to, you know tell your mind and yourself that it's not going to happen. Oh no. And you try to think about all the negative stuff instead of thinking about, oh wait, it could be a positive thing. It's a positive thing that could happen. All right. So it's like walking in the dark and discovering that the floor keeps appearing under your feet. That's faith. Just like when you sit in a chair, like I sat in this chair, and I was like, I didn't try to press it, hold it, shake it to make sure that it will hold me. I just sat down. You know what I'm saying? So that is faith. And that's how you have to look at it. All right. So you also can let it be personal to you. Faith doesn't have to always look like anyone else's version. Okay. My faith and your faith may be different. Faith can come in different steps. You might have big faith and my faith may be little, but we all have some type of measurement of faith. Okay. So if you feel comfortable with what kind of faith are you trying to build, faith in yourself, in a higher power, in a future, or something else entirely, that is, you need to decide what you building your faith on or in. Okay. One thing is about facing yourself. You need to know your makeup. You need to know how you're built. You need to know how you design, and you need to know how to stand on all 10 on it. That you need to be solid in what you believe and who you are. Okay? So let's hear our word. Let's see. My soul found joy in the word. My soul found joy in God. So that's what your soul, this is about your faith. All right. God is with us always, even to the end of the age. So even though, however age we make it to, God is with us, whether we want him or not, whether we have faith in him or not, because at the end, according to creation, the end and the beginning, we all gonna meet him at the end and the beginning. Welcome to the Inspirational Journey, top of the day. Our message is about having faith and how to have faith. Okay. Faith can move mountains. We had that before. Your mountain is whatever you want to change in your life. This is your faith. Okay. This is what faith would be. All right. So this is how you're supposed to do it. All right. So have faith in yourself. Make it all possible for you. Have faith in yourself, because you are more than a conqueror. You are an overcomer, or any type of, disagreements, any type of things that people try to box you up in. I mean, I got told that I never amounted to be nothing, and so therefore I feel like I'm somebody because I made it to here. I am really doing live. I'm really talking to you about something that can help you along your way, and I feel like that's what part of my creation, part of what I was created to do, is to help people go forth in life, to help them navigate and maneuver through this world, to help them along their way. Because people are lost. We are lost. We are confused because people tell lies. They tell half truths. And we have to discern what's the difference. And then whatever decision we make, we have to have faith with it. All right. With blessings and peace and love to you. I am so glad that you just stopped by. Always feel free to go back and revisit and continue to subscribe and like and share, because that's what it's all about. Sharing is caring. With peace and love and top of the day to you all, and peace and love into you, and be careful as you go to and fro on this earth. And always put in your heart and your mind to always follow the Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit is your first mind, your first thought. And sometimes you tell your man, I wish I would have done such and such, because you had thought about it first. So try to practice that too when you're facing yourself, to follow what is best, because the Holy Spirit always gonna bring to your remembrance the right way and which way to go. Okay? With blessings and peace and love to you. I hope all is well with you, and may God be with you throughout this world. I'll see you on our next journey in this beautiful, beautiful world. Blessings.